Here we are. It is another episode of the Battleground Podcast. Now, if you're listening to this on Apple or whatever, remember, you can watch this episode. We are doing this episode on video. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in my tag team partner, Eli.
Hello.
And we're joined by the Belle of the Brawl, Lena.
Hey, guys.
And are you ready? Because we are super excited of who's going to be on the show today. I know Lena has been trying to join this group that is in AEW.
Absolutely. I'm so excited.
Let's bring in our special guest. Anna J joins us on the show. Anna, how are you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We are great. We're so excited to have you on the show tonight. So let's kind of just jump right into this. Were you a wrestling fan growing up? And if so, who are some of your favorites? Who did you train with? Let's hear about it.
Oh, yeah. So I started probably in middle school watching wrestling. I would watch it every week with my dad. It was kind of like a routine. It was a joke that none of my brothers, I have two brothers, none of them would sit down and watch it with them. So I always did, and I loved it. And I always said I wanted to do it, but I didn't really know how to get into it. There was no schools around me, nothing of that sort. So I kind of didn't think it was really possible. So it kind of fell into my lap. Everyone around me knew that I wanted to. And Glacier from WCW actually is a family friend. And my aunt had talked to him and told him, this is her dream. She's always wanted to do it. And he was actually like, oh, wow, well, I'm opening up a wrestling school in Atlanta called the Power Factory. So if she wants to try it out, tell her to come. And I went to a camp there and I knew I wanted to do it. And so then I think 6 months later after the camp, I ended up moving to Atlanta to train full time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was that 2018, I think I saw online. Yes. So just a couple of years ago. And I think it's so inspiring and just awesome how far you've come.
Thank
in
you.
Such a small amount of time. And I feel like a lot of people would say 2020 is not their year, but it's definitely yours. Would you agree?
Yes. Luckily, I'm very lucky.
Yes. And tell us a little bit how you got involved with AEW.
So I went, I trained at the Power Factory. There's a connection there. QT Marshall, who is my coach, knew Cody Rhodes, and AEW kind of started. It was after I had already been training, so AEW was not a thing when I first started. So during the pandemic, they did not have their hands on a lot of wrestlers due to travel restrictions and that sort of thing, and I was in driving distance. So I got the call, they wanted me to come do a dark match with Penelope Ford. That was my first match with AEW, and then I went there, did the match, and then I got called the next week to have the match with Shida on Dynamite the following week, and the rest is history. So I really lucked out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember seeing you on Dark against Penelope, and you caught my eye because of your look, the star of the show, which I love, which is awesome. And I also remember, since we're coming into spooky season, you and Abaddon wrestling each other. I bet that was
scares the mess out of me.
Oh my gosh.
Seeing her on TV, I have nightmares. It scares me.
Yeah. Same. I bet you never thought you'd be wrestling like a zombie.
No, not at all. Who does?
Right.
Well, there's been a lot of AEW talent that's gone to Twitter and praised Tony Khan and the other the EVPs within AEW, just from not only how the operations ran, how peaceful everything is, how people get along backstage. What has your experience been like working with them so far, and what's been the biggest challenge of running the shows during the pandemic?
Well, everyone there is great. Tony Khan, he's a great boss. Everything I think has been handled tremendously and as top-notch as it can during this time. So we're all really lucky, and it's been a good experience for all of us, even though these times are hard. So the biggest challenge during these times, I think, without fans, it's weird for me because I came into this at the beginning and with no fans. And so starting to have fans back, it's an awesome thing. So it's not really a challenge, but I think me just getting used to that factor is, it's just weird, but it's been great.
Nice.
And it's like, you talk about having fans, and I remember in the group chat, we're all talking about, it felt so great getting to watch that AEW Dynamite show, and you hear people screaming. Like, it was great having the wrestlers ringside and they're all doing their own thing and, talking trash and whatever. But hearing that fan aspect of everybody screaming and booing and cheering, and of course, singing Jericho's theme song and just everything about it. I know that you're excited to have fans back, and it's great to have your friends along ringside, but having fans there is probably a great feeling too.
100%. It's, like I said, I've never experienced it before, so it's really cool for me, and it's like a new dimension that I haven't had yet. And then now when we start traveling and stuff, that's going to be another cool aspect for me. So yes, having fans back is awesome.
Man, something else that we find is awesome, and we're going to talk about your tag team partner. How did you and Tay Conti get paired up? What's the experience like being a tag team together?
Oh my gosh, so we had no idea we were going to be tagged up together. We really ended up hitting it off. In the ring, we had good chemistry. Outside of the ring, we had good chemistry. It was really meant to be, I think, and everything happens for a reason. So I'm very thankful for that experience as well.
Nice. And it's kind of cool because, like you said, you could tell the chemistry is there between you two. And then, when you at first try to get her to come to the Dark Order, we were like, okay, is she going to go? What's going to happen? And it's great to see how this is evolving between you two, because we know that that you girls are going to take over the women's tag team division. You're going to take over the women's division. And we're excited to see what the future holds for you guys.
Yeah, thank you. I offered my hand to her, and her being my good friend, of course I want to work with her and I want her to be with me. So fingers crossed.
I'm crossing my fingers. And speaking of Dark Order, and I mentioned earlier, you're the star of the show, and now you're the Queen Slayer, which the shirt, so awesome. I love it. And I love the style that goes with it too. Your gear to your makeup. It's like just super dark, super cool. So tell us a little bit about joining the Dark Order and Brandi Lee and all of that.
Well, I kind of was hopeless at the beginning of my AEW run. I didn't have any wins, and joining the Dark Order has been great for me, as you can see on screen. It's built my confidence up. I have an army behind me, and having someone like Mr. Brandi Lee to get advice from and to help me, as long as, like I said, having everyone behind me, it's been great for me, and I can't ask for anything better. So I'm really happy where I am right now.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
What do you think is the biggest challenge facing the Dark Order as you guys continue your pursuit of dominance in AEW?
Well, I think our biggest challenge, which is also our biggest want, is to have a belt in every division that there is. And I think that's probably our ultimate goal. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think that's what we want to happen, and we're going to work towards it.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
And, you talk about wanting every title, everything in the Dark Order. So what are some of the matches you're looking forward to in AEW? And of course, now that you said that you're wanting all the gold, would you rule out a run at the AEW women's title?
I would love that. I think, right now I'm building up my repertoire and I'm trying to get better, and I'm getting my reps in right now. So I don't know if I want that to happen right at this moment, but I do want it to happen sooner than later. And I definitely would love to wrestle Sheeta again and, hopefully get that belt one day. So I'm not ruling it out, but I'm also going to give it time.
We have said on this show that everybody that comes on this show goes on to win gold.
That's true.
We've had people from different promotions come on, and then literally about a week or 2 weeks later, we see on TV so-and-so's won the title, and this has happened. There's only been 2 people that have lost it coming on the show, but we don't count those. We only count the people that come on the show and go to win the gold. So you being here is going to win the gold, and
it's a good luck charm.
I hope so.
Well, last week we saw you defeat Brandi Rhodes by submission with the Queen Slayer. So what does that victory mean to you?
It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the Dark Order. It, seals the deal that the Dark Order really does do a lot for people. And it was a huge win for me. And I want to keep rolling on and keep winning and keep knocking people down,
Yeah, it's got to feel good after you guys were going back and forth on Twitter to kind of, put her in her place.
It's still poking at me. Still poking at me.
I heard that.
All you have to do is say, check that win column right there, right? That's all you got to say, Brandi. Anytime she starts going at Twitter, be like, what's your record in the women's division? Where's that one coming from?
That would be a hard one.
And now we need an Anna Jay action figure. Or the
Oh,
whole Dark
Yes.
Order as a set.
I hope so too. I hope that maybe, they do a Dark Order set. That would be a really good idea.
I
That'd
will
be awesome.
pre-order it as soon as I see Ringside Collectibles say, "Hey, we've got the special edition Dark Order set. Let's get this going. Here's my credit card. Just
Take my
There you
money.
So recently, over the last couple of weeks, Thunder Rosa has made a big splash in AEW. Would you welcome in more outside talent to kind of test, let them test their skills against the best of AEW, or are you kind of okay with keeping everything in house?
I think both. I think it wouldn't hurt to have people from the outside come in. I think Thunder Rosa coming in, she had great matches and she's a great wrestler. And I also think it's great what we're doing. All of the women in our division that are in our division are working really hard, and there is a lot of talent there. So both. I want to keep building it and keep working, and one day we're going to be the best.
Nice. Well, the women's division's stacked already. I mean, you guys have incredible roster, so off to a good start.
Yes.
And that kind of actually transitions to our next question that we have for you. So AEW currently has one of the most stacked women's division in professional wrestling. What do you think, in Anna Jay's opinion, is the biggest challenge facing the women's division at the moment?
I think we do need more reps, and I think we're starting to get it. I think it's going to take time, just like anything is going to. But yeah, I think we just need more reps, need to keep building individually. And I think that's what we're doing. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but I think we're on our way.
Nice.
Well, we've talked a lot about wrestling, and I just want to know, what does Anna Jay do on her days off when you're not wrestling?
Well, right now I'm trying to catch up on sleep. I think when I'm there, I never sleep. So I do a lot of things that I can't do when I'm out of town, like take care of my apartment, groceries, gym, what training. Trying to think, what else do I do? I'm don't really live a very fun life besides my job. So other than that, not a lot, to be honest. Just basically keeping up with what I have to do and working here too.
Right. I can relate. I'm the same.
The life of a professional.
That's
Yeah.
So let's kind of ask this. We always like to ask this question to every guest on the show. If Anna Jay could pick her dream match, whether it be past or present, who are you picking in a match? What's the stipulation? Where are you going with this?
Gosh, that's such a hard question. Oh goodness. There's so many people that I'd want to wrestle who are wrestling right now. But I honestly think, like, who got me into wrestling, which is Nikki Bella. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's just, she's charismatic. She made me believe that that was something that I could do one day, and so I would love to wrestle her. Maybe, no stipulations. I would just like to go for a very long time in the ring with her. That would be a lifelong goal, but I don't think that's gonna happen now. But that would be very cool.
I think they got a lot of hate, especially because they got into like the reality TV show and all that kind of stuff. I think now that some time's passed, I think they're kind of starting to be looked at in a more favorable light.
Right.
I mean, she had the belt for like a year or something before Charlotte beat her. So you know what I mean? Like, for a company to put that much confidence in you can't be a 1, you got to be a 10. So yeah, totally I think they got a hard, shake at that because of the TV show, but
they did. And I always have to explain to people, why I was inspired by them. And it doesn't have to mean that I agree with everything that everyone does all the time, but that's absolutely what got me into wrestling, and it'll always mean something to me.
Yeah. Would you be open to a show like the, total, well, they call it Total Divas, but do you think something like that would work with the girls in AEW?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really thought about it. People automatically will see me, and if I say Nikki Bella that I am a fan of hers, they automatically think, oh, that's why I got into wrestling. But that's not the aspect of wrestling that I want to really get into. I'm not saying I would never do it, but I think we don't really need that right now, if that makes sense. But maybe one day. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I will say I did catch something on, being the elite, and it really scared me with Anna Jay, because when we were talking about that she was coming on the show, just seeing you manhandle and to throw that guy across the room. I was like, I'm glad that this is a video interview and she's not in studio, because that literally has me scared. And I'm like a 31-year-old dude, and I'm like, I don't want to be in the same room after watching what Anna Jay just did to him in that.
Good. See?
So I'm just gonna stay over here in my little virtual cubby hole over here. And if AEW comes back to Nashville and they say, hey, Anna Jay wants to come in the studio, I'll be like, let me be in a glass box. She can come in, and we'll just make sure it's all good then.
Perfect.
We have to at least arm wrestle.
Yes.
There you go.
My arm wrestling skills are not that great. I think I'm like 0-4. And yeah, I've arm wrestled Lou Ferrigno, and a couple other people from other promotions. And
did you and Charlotte arm wrestle?
Yeah, she beat me, and so did Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan,
Oh,
yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to give you props for trying. I don't even think I would try. So
No, and then if you haven't watched the Being the Elite episode where Anna Jay throws him, just go watch it and then realize why I'm not going to challenge her to an arm wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go watch it. Yeah, then you'll understand.
Now, has that shirt officially launched? Is it officially available?
It has, yeah. It's on
Nice.
Pro Wrestling Tees now, so it's very exciting.
Very cool.
Mhm.
That's always a big event when you get your first shirt or first toy or anything like that. It's it's kind of like here when you're a songwriter, you hear your song on the radio, like, oh my god, like
yeah, it was a really cool moment for me, and who doesn't want a shirt that says Queen Slayer?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely the target market for that. Yes.
Is there anything you would have done different on your wrestling journey? Would you have maybe tried to found a school maybe a little earlier, or I don't know. I mean, is there anything looking back that you're like, man, you know what, I wish I'd have done this? Or
I can sit here and say, of course, I would wanted to have started earlier. I started when I was 19. I would love to have started earlier, but it's crazy because, like, if I would have, maybe I would not have ended up where I am now.
Yeah.
So I don't really have any regrets or anything like that. I think how it was supposed to happen is how it happens. So, of course, I would love more experience, and that's what I'm getting right now. But I think how it happened is just right with me.
Right.
Yeah, meant to be. I did see that you grew up dancing, which is very cool. And would you say, do you see any similarities between the two crafts, between wrestling and dancing?
100%. I think footwork is a huge thing in wrestling. You have to be quick. You have to know, how to move your feet. And I think dancing really helped me with that. And I think that's honestly one of the things that really helped me when I started off, and being so new. And, I still am very new, but I think it definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can definitely tell because you move very eloquently, if that makes sense.
And the dancing part too also helps me with stage presence, because I was on stage for 16 years of my life and always had to do facials and everything like that. So I think that also played a big role.
Yeah. Well, I do remember seeing on Instagram you and Sunny hanging out a lot, so I could see y'all having that in common.
Oh, yes, I love Sunny too.
All his TikToks and stuff.
Yeah, he's a lot better of a dancer than I am, but I love him.
Would you be open to intergender matches? A lot of organizations embrace it. Vince McMahon has a very hard no, and they've done a few, but it's not really, like if the guy's in and he tags the girl, the other girl, so it's not really. I mean, would you be open to doing intergender tagging?
I mean, maybe not on a big stage. I'm not opposed to it whatsoever. If they told me right tomorrow I had to go do it, I would be 100% down for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually do like the mixed tag stuff. I know, they tag in the girls when the girls come in and all that, but I would not be opposed to that as well. I think they can be really entertaining. But I'm not really sure if we'll ever do that. So
I know a lot of the the elite guys coming from Japan. It's a common thing over there, and I know a lot of the guys, Brian Cage, for example, they were involved with Lucha Underground, and I mean they would just have like a female against a male, and they would just one-on-one it, and so I know it's more readily accepted in a lot of other places, but in the States, it
Right.
still hasn't grown or whatever. So
Exactly. So, I mean, you know, like I said, if they wanted me to, I would definitely do it. But I mean, I don't really know if that's ever something that would happen in
Yeah.
AEW.
Speaking of mixed tag, and I just want to kind of throw this out there in the universe. Can we expect can we put this out there, a Brody Lee and Anna Jay versus Brandi and Cody in a mixed tag match?
ooh,
That would be
Cool.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out.
the stars are pretty much aligning for that right now.
there would be a lot of anger in that match, I think.
I mean, you've got Cody calling out the dog collar match with Brody, and then I mean, the possibilities are endless if we get a mixed tag between y'all.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of anger. That's all I can say.
That's
Well,
gonna be
Unfinished
exciting
business.
to see that one.
Yeah.
We always try to get you know, something juicy, you know, for the dirt sheets or anything. Do you want to call anybody out, you know, or you know,
Call anyone
if
out.
we'd have done this last week, you could have called out Brand, you know, done some more stuff with Brandi, but
Yeah,
since
I
she's
mean,
already
I don't
defeated
know.
that beast.
I don't know if I'm done with Brandi yet. You know,
That's true.
I will say, our match, yes, I choked her out, but she never tapped. So I gotta give her that, and she was strong and put up a fight.
Mhm.
So I don't know. We'll see. I'm down to fight anyone though. So anyone in the locker room, I'm here. I'm ready. I got
Well,
the
and
Dark Order behind me.
And it's got to boost your confidence to get that victory, you know, the first time. So
Definitely.
I don't know if we asked this or not, but I think we were kind of hinting at it. Can you confirm or not if Tay is officially in the Dark Order, or is she still holding out?
I know she hasn't signed any papers. I know that she's clearly still associating herself with me, so she's definitely not said no, at least not to me. You know, we're just waiting. I'm gonna give her time. I know that it is a big decision at first. Maybe I was even hesitant. I didn't really know what it entailed for me, but I also think she trusts me. So, you know, time will tell. Like I said, I'm not gonna make her do anything right at this moment. I mean, I'm gonna get impatient soon, but we'll see. Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon, because we don't want to see an impatient Anna Jay go off on Tay, because that's not going to be good after what we saw you did to Brandi. So that'll be two on the list.
That's true. I don't think I could ever do it to her, but you know, I mean, that's why I'm saying if she trusts me, if she says she's my best friend, then you know, hopefully she'll make the right choice.
So Anna Jay, where is like the best place everybody can keep up with you? What is your social handles? Throw out where they can buy your merch. I know you said pro wrestling tees, but let's give this spotlight to anything and everything you want to promote for people to go out.
Okay, so on Instagram, I post a lot on Instagram probably. It's Anna Jay with 3 underscores after it. I don't know. I guess Anna Jay is just taken. I tried to make it just Anna Jay. It's so hard because you can't see how many underscores there are, but I had no choice. On Twitter, it's Anna Jay as well. And then also I do cameos. So that's also under Anna Jay. Trying to think what else. Oh yeah. And so this is on Pro Wrestling Tees. I think it might be under new releases right now from AEW. If it's still there. If not, you can just search Queenslayer shirt. And let's see. Yeah. Watch AEW Dark tomorrow night. Tainara actually has a match versus Red Velvet. You know, someone I already beat. And then Dynamite on Wednesday.
Nice.
There it is.
I do have to throw something diabolical out. What if you recruited Allie to come to the Dark Order and really stuck it to Brandi?
Oh yeah,
that would really probably piss her off.
Yeah, I mean, short of taking Cody, that would be like the next guess. You know, would be.
Yeah,
just
I don't think I'm gonna cross that line, but taking Allie to the Dark Order, you know, I don't know if that's something we're interested in, but yeah, I think that would definitely piss Brandi off. I've actually always wanted to wrestle Allie, so I don't have any heat necessarily with her, even though I don't know if she's a part of the Nightmare family or whatever she's doing.
I think a lot of them haven't figured out what she's doing.
Yeah, she's bounced around a lot.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
She's with QT, so that's all I know.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to stay out of it. I was thinking like that would definitely like stick the knife in there for sure.
So too.
Last question. Are you dressing up for Halloween? If so, what are you dressing up as?
Oh my gosh. I I don't know, because I don't know what there even is to do on Halloween with 2020 going on.
I'm
if I
DJing
am doing
wedding.
anything, I honestly don't know. I haven't even thought about it just because I figured there's going to be no plans.
Yeah,
But
I
that's a
wasn't
hard
planning
one.
on it, but I might just dress up to take the pictures and then sit
Yeah,
at my
maybe I'll
house.
do that.
Yeah,
Just
you
get
know.
an Instagram photo and
Yeah.
then be done with it.
So.
Way to do it. Well, Anna Jay, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule for coming on this this podcast. This okay podcast is what we call it. But thank you once again for coming on the show. AEW Dark Tuesday nights, AEW Dynamites Wednesday nights, and you can watch Anna Jay choke out Brandi Rhodes again.
There we go. Yeah, thank you for having me.